Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It's game number 4 between Derry and Chess. We've got cross spawns on a very large map here. Terran versus Protoss. Chess is up 2 games to 1 right now. And of 3 very, very different games. I'm going to go through those a little bit, but go and check out those games if you haven't yet, because I think it shows just a little bit of a different take on TVP for some of those there. We saw that the first game was Derry playing. I love the strategy of this nice Zealot charge, Storm, and Immortal combination that just wreaked havoc on the Terran. And then we saw the second game. Both players try to be a little funky, a little crazy in some of their strategies. And then we just saw that Chess, who likes his widowmines, we've seen all 3 of his games using the widowmines, was able to just shut down the Protoss player. And the same thing with game number 3, a 2-base blink play that just got completely routed by one drop with some widowmines, no detection, just walked out of the game. There's nothing he could do, and I hope people aren't too disappointed by Derry leaving those games. He had really nothing much that he could do to help defend that. And in this case, we actually see Chess, even on a 4-player map, opening fairly standard. Both of them are actually, just to make sure. And I'm thinking we're going to see Derry try to play something normal on this game, because he won when he played normal. He lost when funky things happened. He tried for the infamous 2-base Protoss blink all-in play. He couldn't even get it off the ground. Didn't even have his gateways all finished up by the time he was just overrun with widowmine and marine drops. So this one I think is going to be more important for him to play it out very normal and very straightforward and try to even up this series 2-2. This is a really fun tournament in case people are watching or wondering for the next one. We do it first Sunday of the month. So we will be, I don't know what day of the week it is in March for that first Sunday, but that's what we're going to be aiming for to do it again. I'll be having it on my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/copenwithit, just like my YouTube channel, SeKo Gaming, rocking the live esports. Terran player is on the hunt right now for scouting, same with the Protoss player. Both are scouting counterclockwise, why not? Reaper is going to be going in the other direction. And we'll see what comes out of this here. Orbital's all finished up. Down goes that there mule. Well, I got 2 people in gas. I don't know if that's a strategy or not. I don't generally see that often on a Terran player. It's enough to get out the reactor and the command center. I've seen Chess play the first game where he really controlled his gas intake to be as effective as possible. Because at this point you're not spending gas on anything, right? It's just going to be Marines in the command center. But his next build, see we have now 3 in the gas, is going to be about getting out that factory as soon as this is all finished up here. We saw the Reaper in game number 3 get 3 or 4 kills. Mothership core is out in time, just in time actually, to be able to save that. On this side, we actually don't have anything made yet. He's supply blocked. Supply depot must have started just a little bit too late, which means the Protoss player is going to be able to get in here and have a scout. Might raise this there supply depot just to make sure he doesn't get in, but it's nothing too crazy he's going to see regardless. This way, at least he can shut it down and close the wall if he wishes to kill off that probe for sure. Sees the 1 gas. Ooh, probe almost gets away. Interesting timing. On this side here, Nex is going to be finishing up almost the exact same time as the command center. Reaper did end up getting 1 kill. That was a nice little move by Derry just to move his units past the Reaper before he killed it, just to make sure he killed the little bugger. And gateway is going down. Maybe see some 2-base pressure here. He is chrono boosting out his cybernetics core, but he didn't drop a pylon with his probe when he was down here. I would have expected him to maybe drop one while he was out on that side of the map if he was going to be going for some sort of 2-base play. He might just be doing that to make sure he's safe against what looks like to be another widowmine drop. Take that, rocks. Beercraft is in effect. Got myself some kokanee here, and it is going fantastic after a little bit of wine. Keeping the good times rolling. Still only on 1 gas on this side here. Not too worried. Widowmine's pretty cheap on the gas. The medevacs, on the other hand, much more expensive on the gas. So we'll see if he throws down another one here in the next little bit. Not too big of a deal one way or the other. There's our pylon. So this 2-base play here could be pretty effective. Terran player is looking to go for a drop. More barracks on the way. And once that other widowmine pops out, it'll be good to go. Lots of pylons over on the side of the map. Again, the Stalker's out. A little bit different from his games where he'd like to go zealot heavy. But now that he wants to put pressure on, he is going to work to make sure that he can get here and catch his opponent off guard. Chess should have just seen this happening. Must not have been paying attention because he does not have SCVs pulled. You want to have that surround finished. Trying to run his stalkers around to block out the SCVs. He does an amazing job there. Loses one stalker immediately. Second one about to go down. But these zealots now are on top of all of these workers that also have the time warp suffering. Mothership core is taking some damage here right now. We'll have to back away slightly. Widowmine triggers on one of the already damaged zealots. But it looks like it will pick off this stalker. Funky little micro going on there. He does have an observer out with him this time, which is very clever, and he will get both of these widowmines. So this pressure already has gotten 15 worker kills. Let's just see if the protoss player can transition out of this well enough. Doesn't really want to lose those for free. Got a handful of stalkers out here. Now this is where I would think it'd be easier to transition in maybe a third base and just start getting comfortable back at home. He doesn't need to put on any more pressure. The tank is out. You can see that with his observer. Not really any need for him to try to go out there and do anything heroic. He's got a lead. Now he's just got to find a way to keep it going. Wouldn't mind seeing down a forge and a cannon or two just to make sure that he doesn't get himself taken off guard by some more drops of widowmines. In just about every scenario, the Terran player is going to drop to try to get back into the game. I'm sure Chess feels like at this moment he's a bit behind. Units wise, he's down by 10 workers overall. Let's just see, there's the forge going down now. Couple of gateways that have been converted over. Once again, I don't know how tilted Derry is at this point. I would have had this little bit of a feeling like he might be slightly, after game number 2 and 3, threw him a little bit off. Go lie out. Having fun with the stalker. This observer's been here the entire time. If you see some army back at home, you should generally feel fairly safe. If these were rallied out across the map, as they are running right now, then maybe you'd worry a little bit more about being attacked. He's actually going to go Colossus on this game as well, which I think is super cool. There are cannons happening now in the mineral lines. Forge is researching out their armor, so he'll probably be going back into a zealot charge once again, I would think. There's no Twilight as of yet on the map. Getting out zealots and Colossus, a very nice combo. Zealots will hold down the ground, very nice. Against those Colossus, they can do a lot of damage further away. Stim is not finished yet. Combat Shields just wraps up. We actually have a turret going down as well. Where did that turret happen? Right at the front. That's just to make sure DT is controlled well enough. Now there's no third base. Once again, maybe it would have been best for him to try and sneak that third nexus down, but I think he could have with the advantage he had worked out. I think he can take this army as well. There is a tank in place. He doesn't know that Stim isn't finished yet, but if he knew that, he probably would have went in for an engagement there. He is going to have to worry about getting out. There's the Twilight Council. With all those zealots, you are going to want to charge. Those kiting units can just do way too much damage. I don't know if there's an OBS on this side of the map right now. Overcharge goes down. There's the OBS. And then down goes the OBS. There's a Colossus on the way. It would have been nice to maybe snipe down that widowmine with the Nexus overcharge. Tank's in a pretty bad spot right now. And this is looking just like game 1 with this bio pressure at the front door with all these zealots. The difference is charge is a long ways off. Thermal Lance has just started, so this Colossus, though it might seem cool, isn't going to help him out too much. He doesn't have the leg speed or the range. That widowmine shot killed a lot of shields on these zealots here. That's the beauty of the widowmine and the splash damage. Extra damage to those shielded units. Another Colossus on the way and some sentries. I would have thought he would have been more focused on getting out that. There's the leg speed a little bit sooner. Sentries are expensive. Does not want to lose those units. Next Mothership core is already finished, but it'll be a fair bit of time before he's got any useful spells to cast. Sentries aren't doing the biggest deal there with the force fields. Probably would have been better to use a guardian shield, something like that, just to be able to help his army out a little bit more. The Terran's keeping the pressure up. Back at home, he's got another command center almost finished, so he's ready to transition out of this pressure. Not expecting to just flat out win, particularly with the Colossus in play. But he is moving into Viking production. Thermal Lance still a ways off being done. Still not an observer over here though. Terran army is going to be in full retreat. It would be nice to see a blink on there once this leg speed is finished, just so you can chase after those medevacs. A lot of them are very beaten up. You do want to have the ability to snipe them down if you can. Thermal Lance and Zealot Charge are both about to finish up. Great splits out of the Terran. Trying to really pull those Thermal Lance shots away and not get that splash damage in. Not the best force fields, only managed to pick up another couple of kills with that. But what can you really expect? That's why I'm kind of surprised the sentries are even a part of this. Very expensive on the gas, where I think sticking with the Zealots and teching up would be a bit more effective. Now Terran's already ready to get down his third base here. He's got all the production he really needs. Maybe another starport if he wants to get out even more of his Vikings. What's his Viking count at right now? He's only at 2 more on the way. So he's going to want to probably around at least 6 or 8 before he engages next. Templar Archives is happening, so the Protoss has almost all the tech he needs, besides, you know, if he wanted to get into Stargate. Nexus is down a little bit later. Kind of a lull right now in the action. Nobody's anywhere near the middle or any other part of the map. There's not even a pylon or anything funky happening anywhere else. Kind of surprised that it's nice to have just a pylon on these areas around the map, just because you can get a warp in of a few zealots and sometimes get in a ton of damage if you can hold the multitasking well enough. Storm on the way. I think that's the 3rd Colossus. No, that'll be the 4th Colossus coming down. +2 on the armor. Terran is a little ways into +2 weapons. I don't know if he's got any. Well, he does have the armor upgrade, but he's not getting it right now. If he's got a 2nd engineering bay, he has not started it yet. May have not had the right amount of resources when he tried to make it the first time. Only 4 Colossus in this picture right now. A couple more straggling behind. Protoss player is going to see all of this happening. Zealot gets in one swipe before he gets it destroyed. Pretty big lead right now in overall army for the Terran player. There's not a lot of Vikings though. Good thing we see some Stalkers coming in now from Derry. You should be able to put a little bit of pressure onto those Viking numbers. Storm's just about ready to wrap up. I don't think he's got... Yeah, he's got some High Templars in there. 5 of them actually, and there are Storms ready to launch. Great arc from the Terran player. Storms are driving things back right now. They're not hitting a lot of units though. They are zoning out the Terran player, and you see a lot of damage from the stims. But right now, all the Colossus are getting put into a corner. There's nothing really shooting down all of these Vikings here. So he will finally just about clean up all the Stalkers. That Immortal is down to no health. And the Zealots with charge are actually getting in a fair bit of damage against this very beat up Bio army. Immortal is regenerating all the shields now. Trying to get out another Colossus, another tack upgrade. He's got the Archons in the picture, but I think you would want to get out at least a couple more Storms before you'd want to push out here and engage. He's out in the open quite a bit, where you can get these great surrounds on any of these Colossus. Both of them fairly beat up. 3rd one on the way. +3 attack already started up for our Terran player, so his upgrades are just trucking along. This, once again, if you had a pylon down here to run in a few Zealots, just to be able to put your opponent a little bit off, just get them a little bit uncomfortable, and sometimes you could really pull yourself back into the game. Because if we look at the income tab right now, pretty big lead for the Terran player in minerals, even if the gas is essentially the same. Colossus are expensive, man. If you haven't been a Protoss player behind, you're like, I gotta get those Colossus out, and they take forever and they cost a lot. It can seem like it's a long time in between. Particularly when I'm sure you'd rather be using those gas on some High Templars. He's got some in the mix there. He's got 3 or 4. He's got some Storm ready. 6 total. I think he's got 3 or 4 Storms that are ready at this point. Pretty good Bio army right now. 2-2 versus 2-1. +2 has started for the attack. I don't think there's any ghosts in this mix there. No, he hasn't invested in any ghosts as of yet. So this could be a very important fight. Terran's got a huge lead in supply and a pretty good army comp. But there's a fourth base going now for the Protoss. If he can get a great engagement, this isn't the best place for it. Great spread from the Terran. If the Protoss can get the right engagement, he can pull himself back into this game. Great wraparound here from the Terran player. Colossus are in the back, not hitting what they need to. The meat shield right now is getting pretty beat up. Derry is dropping in supply huge right now. And yeah, that's just about it. He's down to essentially, yeah, there's the GG. A couple of Colossus. Great game, great series. Chess does take it with 3 straight games against a very tough Protoss player. SeKo Starcraft, thanks everybody for watching the finals of the Gonzy Community Cup number 10. I will talk with everybody later.